Alright everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to jump on into a bit of gameplay after we have a look at some sniper rifles. We're going to do probably a two-part series on sniper rifles in two sections. Probably three of my favourites in one and then three sort of powerful ones in another section. The first one, part one, today's video, is going to be about the three sniper rifles that I like but have more magazine size. So for instance, the first one we're looking at, as soon as I can find it again, the Obliterator. And if we look at the stats, you'll see it has 4 magazine size, and the other ones we'll be testing have more than one in the magazine size. And in part two will be single shot sniper rifles that have been used in various ways to great advantage. But anyway, today's ones, we're going to look at the Obliterator here. You can see my one. You can see the 74,000 damage on it, the DPS on it, on a normal shot, and your headshot's 148,000. So obviously packs a fair wallop, but the impact there of 9,200, over 9,200 is a big one. You'll see Huss getting knocked back quite considerably. And the range of 2,500, which is pretty much the max of anything. And there you can see the rolls that we've got on that, and headshot eliminations cause explosion on this one, which is a pretty good perk. And if you put it on a defender, they just about hit headshots all the time, so hence why a lot of people run this as their sniper defender's choice gun. The second weapon we're going to choose when we get all the way down here to the other snipers is a Crescendo. We're going to, forgetting bows, because bows are sniper rifles essentially, but bows to me are a different class of thing, and we'll do that in another video. The second one we're going to do is a Crescendo, and you can see the Crescendo there has a 5-shot magazine and a 65,000 DPS, so it's a little lower, and the headshot's a little lower, headshot damage is a little lower, and the impact is about just under a half of the other one. But the Crescendo has another little fun perk on it, where is if you hit eliminations at enemies with this weapon cause nearby enemies to dance for short duration, which can come in really handy to stop any exploders. They'll drop their gas bottle and start dancing towards you, then they'll go back and pick it up once they've finished dancing. So it gives you a little bit of time to clean up and kill them without you taking damage or them doing any more damage to you. It doesn't work on mist monsters and bosses, unfortunately. It'd be really good if it did. It'd be nice to see a big smasher dancing with a disco ball above his head, but you'll see what that effect looks like. And the third one we're going to look at is the Neon Sniper. Neon Snipers was and still is a favourite of mine. You can see its headshot damage is bigger than the Obliterator, but its normal DPS is not, and obviously its impact is less than the other two altogether. But all of these rifles, you can see all of these rifles have individual qualities that are great. One thing I forgot to mention is the Crescendo has about a half the distance range-wise as the other two. The other two go for about 2,500, which is maximum, as I said, maximum of any weapon that I've seen or that I can think of at the moment. The Neon Sniper has its own little set of perks where you look down the barrel, you can actually see through buildings. You can see sort of an X-ray look through buildings. So without further mucking around, let's jump into a mission up here in Twine, and we'll get up and we'll check the distance, we'll check the impact, we'll check all the little funny perks on them, and go from there. Alright everyone, here we are in a I think it was a 124 mission. So we've got ourselves up here on a high little point so that we can check around and pick out a few little targets to test these snipers at range from. There's a nice smasher over there. There's a blaster over there. Basically what we want to look at, we're not really looking for a close-up target range or anything like that. We want to see it from a distance, what a sniper really takes care of. And you can see the Obliterator's got a nice sight system to look down. Get up a little bit closer than the Crescendo and Neon. As I was saying just before, you can see what the Neon's scope looks like, and you can see that if we can get a little building here, there we go. Now you can see what it looks through the walls at your enemies. So You can be sitting down on the ground on your encampment or whatever you're doing, trying to see what's coming at you or see what's on the horizon there, and you can see through walls where these other two, I can see that husk there through the window, but I can't, if the window wasn't there, I wouldn't be able to see him. Now the neon will be able to get him through the wall without breaking the wall as well. Ooh, it's a wild little glitch. Now you can see that guy walking around the corner there. Not a bad bit of power there. Now the crescendo won't have that sort of distance. So that's about the same level of distance, but I think from this distance we might be able to get them with the crescendo. As you can see, we can, but if we aim up for someone a bit further away, like no one we can see right now, unfortunately. We have a look and see if we can get this guy from distance, and we can, but it doesn't take him out. So if we try the neon from it, a good shot from that distance will take him out. Now, the Obliterator, on the other hand, now this is just a beast of a weapon. If you see this one from any great distance, we'll try and headshot this Smasher and just see how much comes out of it. Now, if it crits, it'll do a hell of a lot of damage to him, but let's see. I didn't quite catch that number there, and we can't see what it is, but now you can see the stagger back on the Smasher there, even from this distance, the stagger on him. We're not critting at the moment. He's dead. And the explosion from the headshot. Now these guys from this distance don't stand a chance, and the explosion causing damage to people around it. This guy walking around the corner here, this blaster, get him to look straight at us, if he will. Four shots from probably about a third of the map away. We're going to sit on top here, and we're going to set this encampment off and see if we can get some dancing effect to give you a better idea of what it can do. Here they come, they're everywhere now. If we can just, it's got to shoot through. You're all wondering where it's coming from. Too many shielders down there. Let's get down in amongst it. See if we can get this critical going off. There we go. A little bit of a dance party happening now. So from a distance, if you put this on your defenders, sit them on top of your base as get all these guys to be coming down a trap tunnel. And every time the defender hits a critical shot, all these guys will start dancing like this. Little rave party. And give you the chance to take them out before they do any more damage to you. One other thing you've got to note about the is its power up. If you hold down the trigger button, you'll get this glowing effect on the end here, which powers up your shot. And let's see, we'll get a shot on this one here. And I think that was 800,000. Let's try it. Let's try it again on this Husky Husk. And I think that was 700,000. We'll have to double check there. Let's try one more. And that was just over, or just under 600,000. So as you can see, that's still a pretty powerful weapon when it takes a crit hit. Out of the three of them, it's the only one with a power shot. So let's go see what some damage can be done with one of these other ones. Now there's a Miss Monster there. Let's see what we can do to this guy. As you can see, it's 3-shot him because the critical hit chance is not going off on this weapon as often as maybe the Crescendo setup. One thing to note about the Obliterator is because it will go through multiple, will obliterate walls obviously, is ability to go through multiple targets. As you can see there, you can line up 3 or 4 in a row and go through all of them. As you can see there, we can put this one full and it will take out the building. The Crescendo will do down the wall, but it will take a while to take it down. And the Neon is worth noting, that will fire through walls, taking some damage on the walls. But I will take these weapons into my Storm Shield and we'll run a little bit of endurance with these 3 guys set up on a ledge, just to show you what this gun can do with the terrain. So if I've got this guy here, he's coming, see if we can get him on the other side, and I can see him through there, I can shoot him through that big concrete wall, as you can see there. So that's the terrain there, guys over there, and I can shoot him through the terrain. The Obliterator can as well, but I can't see that. But your defenders can see it. They can see the husks on the other side of the wall. The Crescendo, on the other hand, if there's a wall like this in front of it, it can't shoot through it. You have to be able to have a clear line of sight with the Crescendo. The defenders just won't use them otherwise. Alright, so what we're going to do is just going to run a little war games in Twine Peaks, just to get these guys, show you what these guys are like in defense, with Grandpa holding them in their hand. One thing to note is about these weapons is 2 out of 3 of these weapons use normal bullets, normal heavy bullets, and the other one uses energy bullets. Now you can see these guys doing their business with the knockback. You can see that the Mist Monster doesn't stand much of a chance. Now the Obliterator, in my opinion, is the best gun for defend. 2 are very good, but the Obliterator in the hands of a defender is just too good. Now they'll target any... You see, this guy has struggled shooting over the ledge, and I'll show you why in a second, once we get rid of this guy. Now, if I put these walls up, you'll notice 2 out of the 3 guys will continue to shoot. Now they'll be shooting through the wall, they'll be shooting through the ground, but this Grandpa here, with the musical one, he stopped shooting because he can't see what he's shooting. But if I open the wall up again for him, and he goes straight back, and he all of a sudden he's like, oh, I can see him now, I'll start shooting again. And you see, for the most part, they just annihilate them as they come. So, as I said, any of these sniper rifles that you can get your hands on in the hands of a defender are beast guns. It's just, in my opinion, in a defender's hands, the Obliterator does the trick by far. And you can see them a lot of the time. Half the time they'll take those flying Mist Monsters out one shot. They'll deal a lot of knockback. The only downside I find to defenders is that they don't prioritise their targets like you would. Now, I haven't even fired a shot off here, but most of the times they'll one-shot them, and as I said, this guy here will struggle sometimes with a ledge. If I take that ledge out for him to shoot through there, he'll get his shots away better. But if he's shooting sort of like here, he won't get the shot on the target because it'll hit the ledge like that. So defender type guns, the Obliterator and the Neon Sniper Rifle, because they can shoot through and you can shut up the shop so that these guys can't be hit. Now that's just 3 defenders. Bearing in mind in your Storm Shield defenses, you can have up to 7 defenders help you out. And they can be 7 snipers if you like. So you can imagine 7 snipers with one of these guns or one of those guns. Maybe one of these guys up a bit higher, out of trouble. But you can imagine how much easier it would be to solo your Storm Shield defenses. And I've just set these guys here up so we can get a better view of what they're doing to the mist monsters there. See that mist monster over there, he one-shot. So there's another smasher here, let's see. He managed to walk under in time. You can see though that none of them are making their way into the trap tunnels. When you look at it on the map, most of them are getting stuck before they even get in because of these 3 guys, and as I said, that's only 3 guys. Hopefully that's a bit of an insight into these 3 snipers at the very least. As I said, these at the start of the video, these are 3 of my snipers that I would enjoy using and are effective weapons. The pros and cons to them all, obviously you can work out from the video. Obviously the Neon Sniper and the Obliterator, they go through walls. The Obliterator will destroy walls like no other sniper in the game. The other 2 will cause damage to walls, but nowhere near as much. The Neon, you can see through walls, and so can your defenders. And obviously the Crescendo will make them dance to give you that little bit of extra time to clear up. So if you have one of those snipers up, every time he hits a critical, makes them dance, gives your other defenders time to get on top of the dancing husk while they're not doing any damage to you. Obviously the Crescendo's got about half the distance on it as the other 2. The other 2 will still be effective at half the map at least. They'll be effective. They're obviously not as effective as up closer, but they still do a lot of damage from a long distance off. The Obliterator, as you've seen in some of that, and particularly in that war games, you'll see the Obliterator knocking them down on their ass a lot more often. So it wasn't critting as much as I'd like it to crit, but it was knocking them down. At least 50% of the time it's going to knock a husk completely over, and then he has to take the time to get up and start walking again. He'll stagger a smasher. He'll stagger any mist monster. So if he gets the proper shot or headshot on them, he'll make them stagger and then have to restand and start walking again. So it's good for that. The other 2 don't have nearly as much effectiveness as knocking the mist monsters back. And the obvious difference between all of them is that one, the dancing perk. The other 2 don't have a dancing perk or a charge perk, so they're just straight out rifles. So I hope this helps you out. There'll be another sniper video coming out soon, part 2 on the single shot snipers. That'll be one of them there. You can see the spyglass. There'll be 2 other single shot snipers that have been effective in certain parts of the game. People have used them before. If there's any snipers that you really want to see, let me know and I can possibly add it into the next video. I hope this helps you out, and that you can enjoy it. Maybe let your friends know that it's a good video to watch. Get them to come along and subscribe. It would really help me out. I'd love to be doing more content all the time. So hopefully I'll see you in game soon. Enjoy, and see you next time.